here through the traffic and all the foggy haze, you can just make out the summit of the mountain that I'm headed to. Just to the right of that red light. Well, this is the river that I'm going to make my way along into the mountains, and you can see that it's basically dry now. There's some patches of water over there. I'm always amazed at how, in this part of Japan, I can so quickly leave the city and be enjoying the beauty of the countryside. This building with all the flags in front of it is a tea processing facility, and small communities in the mountains here in Shizuoka will typically include at least one facility like this. The facility is used by the community of farmers to collectively process tea. So the tea farms are up here in the mountains, and they bring the tea down during the tea season in May and in June, and they collectively process it here and then sell the tea either under their own single brand that they collectively employ, or they distribute the tea to other tea markets. So you can buy tea locally in this village, and it's tea from this particular village. That's why these signs are here. They're basically advertising. Usually these signs indicate that you can buy locally grown tea from this facility, or you may find the tea distributed elsewhere. Sometimes it's nice to pick up a little local tea from a particular village when I'm traveling through the mountains. The water from this little spring is drinkable, and a lot of people come up here into the mountains to fill their water jugs to take back to the city. I like to stop off here and fill my little tea bottles for this hike to come. Very good, very delicious. Here at this stone marker, I noticed something interesting above the marker. What appears to be a small stone Jizo figure. And here's the shrine at the first summit. Here's what appears to be a little shrine with a wooden masu offering box. Ooh, it's pretty foggy in through here. Clouds are rising up through the from the valley, coming over the summit here. Almost at the top. Well, we've made it. Here's the summit. We have a lot of trees surrounding us up here. Not much of a view. I have a couple of picnic benches and a Jizo. Let's have a look. West. Let's take a look. Beautiful statue here. And you can see there's a little offering bowl like we saw before. And some artificial flowers around it. Very nice. Alright, we are going to begin our tour by having a look at Japan from a high level. And we'll go ahead and move in on the country here. You can see Tokyo over here on the right. Here's the Izu Peninsula, and there's Shizuoka. And let's go ahead and move in on our home there. This is the Shizuoka area here. Shizuoka City is over here. Shimizu is here. That's the home of Chibi Maruko, by the way, if you're a Chibi Maruko fan. And here's our home here. This line that you can see going through the mountains marks the path that we took on the this hiking bike. So we started here at our home and worked our way across the valley up to this canyon and then all the way up to the top. Let's go ahead and hop into our flight simulator and have a look at the landscape from a plain eye view. Okay, now we're descending into the Shizuoka Valley now, and that icon directly in front of us is our home. The red line marks the path that we took in making our way up to the top of the mountain. The first bullet you see there is a bridge, is where we filmed the bullet train, the Shinkansen, passing below. You can see the next item there, that's where we viewed the river. The following after that is at the intersection where we could just glimpse the top of the mountain. We see the river god shrine there on the left. And we're going to go ahead and swoop over the valley here, and you can see that we hugged along the mountainside there on the left where the river was as we went. This area is where I filmed the one segment where the city was beginning to turn into countryside. We could see more gardens, the forest was more evident. It was much prettier in this area, actually starting to leave the city. The path continues up this mountainside through the valley, and you can see how it begins to go up into the mountains deeper and higher. This area here, the pin on the left, that's where we saw a glimpse of a shrine, a brief glimpse of a shrine. The next pin there, that's where we saw the snake. I'll go ahead and go over this little ridge here. And here, this is where we saw the tea factory, or actually the waterfall and the egret were there. Now we'll go over this ridge here, and we should see the place where we saw the tea processing facility just below us. If I go over this ridge. And there it is, there's the tea factory. Now we'll swoop down. The trail gets a little more meandering here. It was some pushing along this side. It was getting rather steep on the bicycle, especially with my little one-speed bike. And very shortly we're going to leave the bike and begin hiking. The pin directly in front of us is, or the actual one just below there, that's where we left our bike here, right there. And here's this big pin, and then we'll swoop up and begin walking through the mountains. And this pin here, that's where we saw the small Jizo statue. The trail continues up, and I'll go ahead and get some altitude here. We've got to get on top of this mountain. Climbing Mount Ryuso is actually two separate peaks. And we'll swoop over here. Here's where the shrine was, the big shrine at the ridge. And now you can see that we're beginning to go right up the side of the mountain here. We passed the place where the dancing plant was, the one small Jizo statue. Now we're approaching the top of the first mountain here. And there we go, over the top of the first mountain. Now I actually descended, I didn't show this in the video, but I actually descended down a little valley and went to the top of this mountain, Mount Monjudake. After we reached the top, that was basically it. We'll swoop around here now and take a look. You can see Shizuoka City there in the valley. There's the Suruga Bay, the Izu Peninsula off in the distance. And if we turn our plane around a little sharper here, we should get a nice view of Mount Fuji. Now remember, these are all photographs we're looking at. This is not animation. These are actual Google Earth images. And there's Mount Fuji in the distance. Very, very lovely sight. Thanks for coming along on this Google Earth tour of our hike to the top of Mount Ryuso. Take care.